My name is Walt Hitch, and I am the Center Director at UT's Plateau Research and Education Center in Crossville, Tennessee. Well, this research center began in 1943. So it's 76 years. We celebrated the big 75th anniversary last year, but it's a total of 2,100 acres. So it has a long history of agricultural research, kind of unique how this center came into existence. The county purchased this property and sold it to the state for $1 to begin doing agricultural research here on the Plateau. So it's post-war, and so they're looking for folks to how to improve agriculture. So here on the Plateau, soils are different, climate's different. We're going to be 7 to 10 degrees cooler than you are in Knoxville, Nashville, and but we're at about 1,800 feet of elevation. So our primary focus here has been beef cattle, fruits and vegetables, and ornamentals. Tennessee is well known for its beef production. We kind of bounce back and forth from being ranked 8th or 9th in the country. What we really have here is a lot of grass. Soils are shallow on the plateau, and so we grow a lot of grass. So we're really forage producers, and the beef cattle is a way to harvest that forage. With that in Tennessee, there are somewhere just over probably 1 million head of cattle, but there are 50,000 producers. So the average herd size typically ranges somewhere between 20 to 25 cows per owner. So it's very, very much part-time business, part-time farmers, and so they're always looking for ways to improve their production, to market their beef cattle. And so we do lots of things in terms of forage as far as the research goes, as well as the cattle themselves. But yes, there is a huge green county, and Upper East Tennessee is the #1 county. But if you drew the triangle here between Crossville, Cumberland County, the Highland Rim Research and Education Center in Springfield, and Spring Hill, there's just a very good concentration of the beef producers in this state, while they're all throughout the state in that triangle. Well, what we want to do is give an overview, and this is what I want to do when we have a field day. There are 2 things I want to have happen. Well, there's more than 2. Successful, nobody gets injured, everybody goes away happy is one. But I want them to take away something very applied. I can go do this tomorrow. I can go have my soil tested. I can change my fertility. I can go read this article. I can introduce some pollinators. I'm just thinking through the subjects here today. Maybe there's something I can do to my pond, or maybe I've got a small timber lot that I want that I can look at marketing the oaks, or whatever the recommendations are from that presentation. In the beef session, we talk about interseeding some of these legumes. So we talk about the forages. Once again, we grow forage. We use the beef to harvest that. Ticks are a big issue these days. There are multitudes of ticks. It's the Asian longhorn tick. It's been located already a couple places in Tennessee. What's coming with that? So we're tick collectors. We have the tubes and the vials here. When we get a tick, or we take one off the cows, we're working the cows, we put it in a tube, we're sending it to Knoxville. So in some sense, we're a little bit of that sentinel plot. What's showing up? What's the population? How frequent is it doing it? The other is all kinds of vaccinations for the cattle. We have one of our veterinarians on talk today. Technologies in agriculture or beef production is on there today. So those are the kinds of talks that you're going to hear. The steak and potatoes that's our cattle research and our vegetable research. That's where we started with that talk. We added that landowner component because the farmers are the landowners. It's not our target to be out talking to the ones that own 10,000 acres. They're probably in a different program, but lots of these farmers own acreages of land to do that. The wagon tour, we just like to give an overview. People like to get on the wagon, they like to ride, and so we're going to go by several of the different plots because we don't get all of those on there. So they're going to see switchgrass plots. We have a switchgrass breeder that is it began with some of the cellulosic ethanol, but now has moved into some cellulosic packaging materials, and so there'll be some biodegradable kinds of materials that would be produced from that. You're going to go buy some of the sunflowers that are just grown for aesthetic purposes. Really, in 3 weeks, we'll have a Fall Gardeners Festival here. Then the University of Tennessee, we have the Institute of Agriculture. And in the Institute of Agriculture, we're the land-grant university. And so part of that land-grant mission is teaching, research, and extension. So teaching, obviously, is the college, where we're educating students. We are AgResearch. I call it a field laboratory, just like a biology lab in the building. We're where we take it out and we put it into the field and put it into practice. And then extension is the public outreach. So there's a county extension office in every county in Tennessee, all 95 counties in Tennessee. So it's producers of information, distribution of the information, educating, and then the fourth piece in the Institute is the College of Veterinary Medicine. And so within AgResearch, you have the 7 academic departments on campus, and each of those faculty members may have different appointments. They can be teaching, research, extension, or they may be joint appointments. But when it comes to the research appointment, they are charged with conducting research, producing information. Some do it in the lab, others do it but some need to be able to do that in a very applied sense. And so we have 10 research and education centers across the state. If you look at Tennessee, the long, narrow state, it's really different from Johnson City, and as you come across into the Tennessee Valley. So we have a research and education in Greenville. We have one East Tennessee, very close to campus. And so in that Tennessee Valley, then you come the Forestry Research and Education Center, housed out of Oak Ridge, but they're about 14,000 acres worth of forest land. You come up, now you're on top of the Plateau. We're at 18,000 feet, not much topsoil, cooler climates. All of these are different climates, different soil types, different situations. And then we go into the Central Basin. You've got the Highland Rim in Middle Tennessee. We have the dairy at Middle Tennessee, some beef units. So each center has maybe 2 or 3 areas of primary focus, but they may work with all the departments. So once again, field laboratory. Then you get to West Tennessee, where it's very, very much row crop. Once you get on the other side of the Tennessee River, then you're going to get into corn, cotton, soybeans, technology, row crop, those kind of things. So each center really has a different focus, but they contribute to the overall vision of addressing issues in agriculture.